Welcome, G3 investors. This is Greg Gallagher, and another boring day in the market. Not really. Surf's up, dude. Totally stoked. The market is heading higher. The bulls have taken over, or at least me thinks that is the case. All right, so let's take a look at what happened today. This is our look at the market indexes. So you can see here, we had a historic day for the Dow. The Dow had its biggest one-day gain, percentage gain, 11.4% since 1933. And, all the stocks soared. It was all about the congressional stimulus package, the $2 trillion bill, and additional Fed intervention. I think Larry Kudlow was on a show afterwards saying that there's $4 trillion in addition to this $2 trillion. So they're throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at this market. And I don't blame them, because you shut down the country. It's a little hard to recover from that. So what did we do today? Well, not much. Well, we started out and I took a short earlier in the morning. And I didn't really advertise this out. I did it. I do this sometimes. It looked like the bill wasn't going to get resolved because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer were playing their normal political games. Which I don't understand, by the way. So anyway, I sent out a revision to the setup schedule, and basically got in at 24.30 and then sold out at about when the market started to turn for a small gain. But the real big story was early on, actually on the 23rd, gold broke out. So it triggered on the 23rd. So we got in that, and that is a nice gain. That's a nice gain, two-day gain in gold. So that means the market is still fearful. Gold is the fear trade. That's why I've traded through the GLD. And for that to go up 6.5% from my pocket pivot point in just 2 days, that's a big move. Okay. And, we'll see. Today's candle, I'm not really happy about it. It's like a spinning top candle. I'll get to it in a little bit so you can see it, but it don't mean anything. We're going to follow it. And of course, we're going to make some money on it. We might trade it in and out of it a few times to make some more money on it. That's what trading's all about, folks. Excuse my voice. I don't know what's coming down with the coronavirus. No, definitely not that. But I was yelling at my computer keeps shutting off. Does anybody out there know how to help a guy get Mac OS High Sierra fixed? It just shuts down 3 or 4 times a day. It drives me crazy. And it used to be the most reliable machine. I have a PC and I have a Mac, and I do research on the PC and I do this on the Mac, because Macs they're better computers in terms of their security and stuff like that. But anyway, later on in the day, we had these other positions trigger. Well, actually, that says the Russell growth. That's wrong. That's house. That's home builders. Why do I make these mistakes? I'm showing you my beautiful. I'll just put that in there. Okay. The others are right. Gold, but XHB, that is the right. The trigger was 28. 320 shares, and that happened earlier in the morning. Okay, almost first thing. And then later on in the day, the mid-cap growth and transports, very important. So it seems like it's conservative almost. Now the one I missed, and I hate this, but I missed SMH. I moved the entry point down to 110 from 112 just yesterday, and it gapped up right at 112, and my system isn't designed to catch it, so I didn't catch the trade. So if anybody caught the trade, I'm glad you did, because it looks like it's going to be a good trade. We'll take a look at it also. But anyway, we got a little bit of gain here, $990, 1%. But the key is we're beating the market. We're doing really good. So here's the trade setup schedule, how it'll look when it goes out tonight. There's a hit and a miss. So strike one, I struck out, but then I got a couple bingo base hits, and so, and this just shows what my imagining trailing stop. People have to understand, this is a training video. I'm teaching you how I trade. Okay, I'm not saying you should trade this way or trade at all. And certainly if you're a newbie to G3 investors, or you're just new at trading, or you've never done it before, it's okay just to sit back and watch. This is the most volatile market in my trading year. I've been trading since 2005, and this is without a doubt the most exciting market to trade in that I have ever seen. It's awesome. It really is. Okay, here's the Qs. Now here's one. The Q, again, I follow a strict discipline. The high of the day was 183.83. Okay, so my entry point was 184. So I did not enter it. That's discipline. Traders, if you have a system, you must follow it. You must have discipline in your system. So I did not take that position. Now, other guys that I know traders, and I know quite a few, they would laugh at me for not doing that, because that's enough for them to get in. So if you did that, good for you. This is I'm not here to criticize anyone's trading. People trade stocks. I don't. People buy and hold stocks. I don't. It's all up to you. This works for me. And even if you don't, Warren Buffett is always, he's always the quintessential investor. Okay, he's a buy and hold guy. Bull crap. Warren Buffett buys and holds moat businesses like the insurance company, Geico Insurance Company, government employees insurance company. He's tied in with the government. He's a big guy. He is a multi-billionaire, and he's smart. And Charlie Munger, his right-hand man, is smarter than he is. He's probably the smartest, most savvy guy out there, period. And you don't see them going into Bitcoin or Tesla or anything crazy. They just don't do it. But they still buy and sell stuff. And I followed, when I used to trade stocks, I followed him and made some good money. He bought Budweiser and sold the company, and he didn't buy it enough to sell it, but he influenced it. He's just done all kinds of things. So, I'm not telling people how to trade. I'm just saying, this is how I do it. This is what makes us different from the website. This is why our patrons are so important, because we're trying to get out the word that you can make money. You can take $10,000, and if you can make $10,000 or $1,000 if you're just starting out, or just play with $100, or don't trade at all. Just watch the trades and learn. If I would have learned this when I were a younger man, I want to tell you what, I would be a lot better off than I am today. Okay, so this one broke out. Okay, this is XHB, and we had that set at 28, and it broke out. So we got in it at 28, and the high of the day was 28.56. So that's how it works on the long side. That's what these green and red lines mean on the schedule. And it just makes it easier for me. I have to document this stuff. A good trader documents what he does. Okay, I have to document this stuff anyway. So I just thought, hey, why don't I just go out on YouTube and start teaching people how to trade? Because I don't see any websites that show you how to trade. I'm not talking about all the technicals and all the crap that they talk. I'm just saying, this is what I do. I actually do this. Now, I have other accounts, so during the day I can't always, somebody asked me a question today, a new patron, I couldn't get to him, okay, because I've got accounts that I'm managing. So I can't, I try to tweet, I try to put it on the patron account when I do something, but I'm putting it out and saying, hey, here's this thing. You should go in this. Somewhere I tweeted or something. I said, hey, look, I'm getting out of this SQQ. I hope he didn't hold it overnight, but if he did, I apologize. But that happens when you're trying to learn our system, and I'm trying to learn how we can get along and all that stuff. Okay, let's look at the other ones. IJK, that's the mid-cap 400. Again, not a strong breakout, but it doesn't matter. If this market's going to go higher, and that first picture that I showed of the bull, if the bull is really back, this thing is going to go up and get up to here, okay, potentially, or at least retrace 50% of this move from this bottom to that top, or 62% for you Fibonacci retracement guys. Okay, I don't follow that stuff. I mean, a lot of people do though, so it has an impact. Okay, transportation. I love when transportation comes along. That is a good move. That says that, hey, we're believers in this. Now I'm disappointed. Like XLF is a real important one, and they moved big today, but they didn't move big enough for me. So that's the financial sector. Okay, that's JP Morgan, Visa, MasterCard, those guys. Okay, if they don't come into this market, we ain't going to go far. That's just the facts, Jack. And then last but not least, something's happening with Boeing, I'm guessing. Aerospace and Defense ETF. So here we are. It broke out. Now that's a real tight bear flag there, and these are showing exactly what I was talking about in my video yesterday. Hey, look, it's working. It's working. I'm sailing. I got to show you my failure of the day, and I am peeved. I just moved this down from 112 to 110. Okay, just yesterday. And I'm not sure I did it right. Sometimes I don't even know my own system. That's a good one. Anyway, it gapped up here at 112. I should have caught it. I didn't. I apologize. I screwed up. But I don't chase. Why? Because who knows? Tomorrow, I mean, the futures, the futures, it's up 300 points or so for the Dow or whatever. And who knows? By tomorrow, I mean, this thing is so news driven. It's so psycho, if you will. You have no idea what's going to happen. At any rate, we all make mistakes. Okay. No. I did that. Okay. Just real quick, I want to show you, sue me. We're up 26% in less than 3 months. Now, if we keep that up, we're gonna have to do a G3 model number 3, because I take the initial capital. My goal was to double that capital to 200,000. The first time I picked 200,000, and people said, "You made it too complicated." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll simplify it." So I tried to do that. There's how you become a patron. Copy that into the link. You can follow me there at Twitter. Here's the guys that are in here so far this month. Man, YouTube is just absolutely taken off. Almost 1,800 views, 89 hours, and 31 new subscribers. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, new subscribers. Share the love. Share the glory, man. Let's get totally stoked, dude. Let's take a look. I wore a green shirt today too. Did everybody see that? See, that's another thing I do. See, there's the green shirt. Green day, green shirt. So let's take a look at what that looks like. I bet that looks pretty good. On the heat map. Yeah, get my ugly mug out of there. Yeah, that is amazing, folks. That is just, it's just incredible. There's BAC up 16.3%. There's the banks. I had my, if only I could do it over again. Unfortunately, I can't. Let's see if I can figure out how to get this thing to go to home here. I don't think I can. I did something wrong here, folks. Boy, I'm a real butterfinger. Okay, here we go. 88% on the advancing, 10% on the declining. There's always a difference here because there's some of the 7,400 stocks don't change. They don't advance or decline. They stay the same. But there's still technical damage out there. So we're not out of the woods yet. We only have 5% of the stocks out there are above their 50-day moving average. You know, a lot of good things happen when stocks go above their 50-day moving average. And we only have 7% above their 200-day. Sorry, these numbers are so small you can't see it. I don't know how to make it bigger. At any rate, okay, I was going to give you one more word of wisdom from the surfing world. I like this one. Dave Parmenter said, "I don't need sponsors to surf. I surf better when I'm broke anyway." Sometimes that's how I feel about trading. This is Craig Gallagher with G3 Investors.